A panicky US-aligned Arab ally is now turning to Mojtaba for help as the Hormuz crisis threatens its vital oil lifeline. Iraq's prime minister visits Tehran and quietly asks Iran to guarantee safe passage for Iraqi oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz. Arab capitals are increasingly losing trust in Trump's military as US World War III weapons appear to fall short under Iranian fire. Baghdad is seen sidelining Trump as the Middle East war exposes serious weaknesses in US military defenses. According to reports, Iraq's prime minister has asked Iran to guarantee the safe passage of Iraqi oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz. Ali al-Zaidi pressed Iranian officials in Tehran for a security guarantee to shield Iraq's oil shipments from disruption. Iran International reported the request on July 25, citing sources who spoke to Al-Hurra. Sources say Iran has not given a clear yes or no answer to al-Zaidi's request during his Tehran visit. Tehran may react negatively because of al-Zaidi's recent trip to Washington and his government's new agreements with US companies. The episode underscores how heavily Iraq now depends on Iran's goodwill to keep its oil tankers moving through Hormuz. Al-Zaidi's delicate balancing act between Tehran and Washington could determine the future of Iraq's energy security. Amid daily US air and missile strikes on Iran, an Iranian general has lashed out at Washington over the types of weapons now being used, accusing the United States of escalating to its most extreme arsenals. The Iranian military spokesman claimed that the US has deployed weapons it had effectively stockpiled for hypothetical World War III, pointing to the combat debut of next-generation precision strike missiles and new combat drones as proof that Washington is dipping into its most advanced warfighting tools. General Sherkachi further argued that the US has used weapons against Iran that it had never previously employed in any war, highlighting systems like the precision strike missile and low-cost unmanned combat drones as unprecedented capabilities now being tested on Iranian soil.
Every weapon that had been tested in the world but never deployed in any war has been used against the Islamic Republic. Every piece of weaponry, every technology, every capability that had not been used even once in any war was deployed in the war against the Islamic Republic. Every capability, every weapon, every contingency that the Americans had planned and stockpiled for World War III, to engage with the world's major powers, all of it was brought to the field against the Islamic Republic, and all of it was used and deployed.
America's weapon stockpiles have been depleting rapidly over the course of the Iran war, thinning out key missiles and bombs that Washington had hoped to reserve for other major threats. Thousands of US munitions have been burned through, including long-range missiles, as the Pentagon sustains an almost nightly tempo of strikes against Iranian targets and air defenses. The Iranian general's remarks about World War III weapons came just a day before the US completed its 13th consecutive night of strikes, underscoring how relentless the campaign has become. The war is spreading to a second major shipping choke point as Houthi forces struck Saudi oil tankers in the Red Sea, opening a fresh front that threatens global trade routes. The Houthis' attack came after they imposed a blockade on Saudi ships in the Bab al-Mandeb Strait, signaling their intent to choke off access to key Red Sea lanes. The nearby Strait of Hormuz has been under constant strain since February 28, when the war began, with military tensions and naval standoffs becoming a near-daily feature. Commercial shipping through Hormuz has reopened and closed a handful of times, rising and falling with ceasefire talks, temporary understandings, and then their repeated failure. Strait of Hormuz disruption has led to global turmoil in oil and energy prices, driving up costs for consumers and fueling fears of a prolonged shock to the world economy. In response to the Houthi strike, Trump promised major military punishment for Iran and its allied Houthis, vowing that they would pay a very heavy price for attacking Saudi tankers. The US president said, and I quote, "A year ago the United States of America attacked, very powerfully, the Houthis, for their interference with commerce and trade, by shooting at ships. Since that time, and during our conflict with Iran, they have acted very responsibly. Unfortunately, now they are starting up again, shooting at 2 Saudi Arabian ships last night. Please let this truth serve to represent that if they do this again, the US will hold Iran responsible, in that the Houthis are a surrogate and or proxy of Iran, and major military punishment will be inflicted upon Iran and, of course, the Houthis themselves, who I am very disappointed with in that they have, until now, acted very professionally and smart. Thank you for your attention to this matter." Unquote. Iranian state TV on July 22 aired footage of warehouses filled with Arash drones that it said were used in strikes on U.S. bases across the region. State television described the Arash drone as the Iranian army's steady workhorse, and claimed it had become a key weapon in attacks on U.S. military targets. Iranian media claimed Arash kamikaze drones have been repeatedly used in recent operations targeting U.S. military facilities across the Middle East. The Arash 2 is a one-way attack, or kamikaze, drone designed to destroy its target by crashing into it with an explosive payload. Iran says the drone is built for long-range precision strike missions and can also be used to suppress enemy air defense systems. With a reported range of up to 2,000 kilometers, the Arash 2 is designed to strike strategic targets far beyond Iran's borders. The drone is intended to attack high-value military targets such as air bases, radar sites, command centers, and critical infrastructure. According to reported specifications, the Arash 2 carries an explosive warhead weighing around 150 kilograms, giving it significant destructive capability. The state TV broadcast described U.S. forces as terrorists and said the drone campaign was part of Iran's retaliation against American military operations. Iran has long promoted the Arash as a long-range kamikaze drone, designed for strategic missions and intended to strike targets at considerable distances. The Arash is widely marketed by Iran as one of its longest-range loitering munitions platforms, designed to travel extended distances before reaching its target. The broadcast came as Iran continued highlighting its expanding drone capabilities amid escalating military tensions with the United States.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.